Good afternoon. Hope everybody's family's doing well. Excited about this week. Fired up. Our guys are excited to be back here at Arrowhead Stadium, home opener. Get the fans going, right back in the kingdom, right where we need to be. With that said, hey, I'm all ears.
Coach, what are some of the challenges that you see with your new young offensive line versus that Cleveland Browns defense, especially that defensive front where it looks like they made a lot of upgrades too?
Yeah, you know what? Joe Woods and Kevin Stefanski has done a heck of a job. The organization's done a heck of a job of adding some pieces. We expect our guys to go out there and play hard and play fast. The biggest thing that I've seen with our guys is just the overall communication aspect of it. Coach Heck has done a great job with those young guys up front. But on top of that, there are some guys that have played a lot of football in that room as well. We got Mike Rimmers, we got the Doc, we got Andrew Wiley. You know, you got Kyle Long, who's been around. My point is those guys are fired up. They're eager to get out there. And you know what? It's not going to be perfect, okay? But when it's all said and done with, as long as they're accountable, they're playing hard and they're playing fast, and they're living in that moment and understanding that the only thing that matters is the next play, that's all that matters.
How important was it for you guys to identify your starting five fairly early in camp so they could really start to mesh and have that kind of cohesiveness?
You know what? I think that's very important just because of what you said. Chemistry has to be formed, and it has to be a bond that becomes, thicker than anything. And so those guys, they spend a lot of time together, okay? They do a great job of communicating. Obviously, they study well together. And like I said, it's not anything that's always perfect. But the thing that I appreciate about them is how hard they play, how physical they play. But on top of that, it is important for them to make sure that they're doing their job and being accountable to the rest of the guys.
Are they physical? Are they going to be, on paper, when you brought this group in, it looked like they were going to just be a team that could just run right at you and run over you. Is that the reality?
Well, the reality is this. We got to go out and play this team. What time is kickoff? 3:05? 3:25. We're going to find out, yes. But, yes, that's what you always envision. You want your guys to be physical. You want them to go out there and put everything on display that we've talked about. But we also understand this is the NFL. Those guys on the other side of the ball get paid too. And so, like I said, when it's all said and done with, we want our guys to go out there and play hard, all right, and play fast. But more importantly, be accountable, live in the moment, and focus on the next play because that's the only thing that matters.
How ready do you feel Clyde is for all three downs when it comes to maybe needing to pass protect, especially on third down?
You know what? I'm feeling very comfortable about Clyde adding to his role and what he does. Coach Slew has done a great job with him. He's done a great job with all those guys, in fact. And I think those guys pretty much showed you exactly what they're capable of during the preseason. But Clyde, the best thing about Clyde is that he's had an opportunity to digest everything during the offseason. And so that's huge. On top of that, he's had an opportunity to get out there and put it on display in training camp. And so with this additional week, now with everything that we've had an opportunity to study, I think Clyde's going to be fine. I think the entire group is going to go out there and do what is expected of them to do.
Past 53, Jarek's here instead of Darwin landed with Tampa. What did maybe Jarek offer you that maybe you didn't have last year in a third back?
Well, obviously you never want to cut guys. Darwin did a heck of a job. The thing that we appreciate is that these guys have made it tough on us to make decisions, and that's the great thing. That means that our guys, Veach and them, have always done a great job. They're doing an even more better job by creating competition at all positions. But you hate to lose a young, talented kid as Darwin. But also we're excited about the addition of Jarek. I think Jarek brings a lot. He brings a great deal of experience. He's done a great job of playing on special teams. On top of that, he can run the ball too, and he can catch out of the backfield. So he brings us a little bit of everything that we love, when executing, doing what we do on our side of the ball.
Eric, the last couple of years, you guys have had to go out about this time and bring in a veteran back. How do you feel about the depth with those three guys?
I'm knock on wood. I'm feeling pretty good. But these guys have been working their tails off, But Clyde has done a heck of a job. Daryl, obviously, is the jack of all trades. He's done a heck of a job since he's been here. And Jarek has. And just like we just discussed about the O-line, those guys have a great chemistry. On top of that, You guys have met the coach in Greg Lewis. He's a little special, but he's an outstanding coach, and he does a heck of a job with them. You guys missed that, huh?
I didn't miss that. This is the opportunity to, I guess, explain what makes Greg special, but.
I'm not gonna do that.
No, I figured such, but, what excites you most about seeing McCole, now going into year 3, similar to what you said with Bob Clyde, everything that's gone on in the offseason for him?
Just playing with more confidence and exuding more confidence, allowing himself to just run and do the things that we thought he was capable of doing. So, and we're fired up about, you know, all the things that he brings to the table. But the thing that I'm excited about as well is that all the other guys are excited about him, you know, and I'm always going to go back to the group in the room. Those guys support one another, and they realize how important they are to each other. So those guys make sure that everybody is being held at a high standard and that they're doing all the little necessary things that they need to do. And I'll say this again, once again, it's not always perfect, but the thing that they are doing, they're being accountable and they're making sure that they're doing it the right way to give us the best opportunity to be successful.
Coach, in the year 4 being OC, you know, with the talent that you have surrounding, as you mentioned before, how it makes it difficult to cut players. Do you enjoy staying up late at night, you know, you and Andy conversing or here at the office, drawing up plays or whatever that will, you know, enhance your resume, you know, to get a head coaching job? But are there any challenges that you foresee with this offense?
You know what? I'll say this. Yes, we grind. Okay, this is what we do. That just comes with the title. And if you work with any head coach, you're going to take on the role of that head coach. Coach Reed is a grinder. So now we don't mind spending time here at late nights and making sure that we can give our players the best opportunity, put them in the best positions to have the best opportunity to have success. But when it's all said and done with, you know, this ain't about me trying to go out and get a job. This is about us collectively as a team to making sure that we're handling and conducting our business and living in the moment. Like today is Thursday. You know, we got a situational day. We want to make sure that we're focused on the day, focus on the individual reps, focus on the meeting, focus on the film study. That way we can give ourselves the best opportunity to go out and execute our jobs with great attention to detail on Sunday when it comes kickoff time.
That last time around against the Browns, losing a quarterback in the middle of a playoff game, is that the ultimate challenge for an offensive coordinator? Was that one of the biggest challenges you faced in your job?
You know what? I'll say this, and I'm not bragging or putting our staff on anybody's pedestal. We do a great job of making sure that we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Unfortunately, injuries happen. You never want them to happen, but you always got to have a contingency plan in case things do happen. And so we take a tremendous amount of pride in making sure that we have Chad ready for any and every situation that there is, you know. And so that's our job as coaches. And just like if anybody was to go down at any other position, we need to make sure that those guys are ready to fill the positions and fill those roles that needs to be fulfilled. But at the end of the day, these guys understand, okay? They do not want to let each other down. And I'm going to keep coming back to this. Accountability goes a long way. That's why we do what we do.
You've been more productive when Sammy Watkins has been on the field. How do you feel about the guys who are going to be running through that exposition right now and how they're going to be able to support you both, not just in the pass game, but the run game as well?
You know what? I feel pretty good about him. Obviously, Sammy has been a central piece to everything that we've accomplished over the past few years, but Sammy's not here. And so it's the next man's opportunity. We've had, DeMarcus Rob, we've had D-Rob here for a number of years. D-Rob has done a lot of tremendous things for us. Also, we have McCole. We got Byron Pringle. You know, we have a number of guys to step up and fulfill those roles. That's the beauty of it. Now, all of them bring something different to the table, but they all understand. They may not play every snap, but when they're out there, they're going to maximize the opportunity and make the most of it, because when it's all said and done with, it's about us making sure that we're putting ourselves in position to be victorious at the end of the game.
You talk about the Browns, they've added some speed, they talked about that they wanted to match up with teams like the Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it starts up front. And those two guys coming off the edge are very, very impressive. On top of that, they got a familiar face, kid by the name of Malik Jackson, who played with the Denver Broncos for a number of years. They got some backers that have a tremendous amount of experience. They drafted a young kid who's pretty athletic and can do a lot of things. They drafted the young corner. I mean, you look up and down this roster, there are some talented pieces. You know what? This is the NFL. You expect a challenge each and every week, okay? Our personnel staff, each of them, have done an outstanding job of making sure that we have talent as well. And so we just want to make sure that we go out there and play up to our capabilities to give ourselves a chance. And we just got to have to play assignment sound football when it's all said and done.
Thanks, first time I missed the Zoom call and raising my hand, but, when you look at your running backs, I mean, I know you prepare guys for all situations, but do you foresee using guys in certain situations, or do you foresee it being kind of Clyde show and, you know, using other guys for depth purposes?
You know what? I think you'll find out on Sunday. How about that one? But I will say this, all those guys bring something special to the table. And we're not opposed to Clyde going out there and playing 100 snaps. We're not opposed to all those guys having an opportunity and a role, okay? At the end of the day, and I'm going to say this again, we just want our guys to go out there and maximize the opportunities that are presented when on that field. All right? Thank you, guys.